What's up, Chargers? The holidays are just around the corner, and while this time may be exciting for most of you, know that some of you could be struggling this time of year. This could be from loss of a family member, unsteady home life, stress and mental health, and much more.
Luckily, we have amazing counselors here at Chatfield for you.
Let's see what advice our counselors have for you to overcome this time of year. Who do we have here?
Hi, my name is Miss Brown. I am a counselor for students at Chatfield with last names HI through MCC.
Okay, Ms. Brown, just a few questions for you. Many students face finals, deadlines, and academic pressure right before the holidays. What advice do you have for balancing school workload with family obligations, and how can students avoid burnout during this busy time?
Okay, so the first part of the question was about how to manage family obligations with school workload. And I think one of the most important things is to chunk your academics out. So if you have a large assignment, instead of trying to do it all on one evening, totally been guilty of that before. That causes a lot of anxiety and stress. So instead, look at the big assignment and try to figure out how to chunk it out and do pieces over time. If you are struggling on how to do that, you can always ask your teacher. You can get extra help during advise, and ask how to best chunk it out. I also think that it's really important to communicate with teachers. So if you are having a hard time, be sure to let your teachers know, like, hey, this is going on. That way, your teachers have a full understanding of everything that is going on with you. The second part of the question, did I answer it all?
How can students avoid burnout during this time?
Okay, so how to avoid burnout? I just know what works for me. So, something that really works for me is to treat myself. So, I like to have a little cup of hot chocolate at the end of the day. Or on Fridays, I like to go get a coffee before work. So, just something to really like keep things sort of fun, and make it interesting. If you have a big assignment that you have to do, if you can't tell, I really like warm drinks, so I might make a cup of tea while I'm working on a big assignment that I'm kind of procrastinating about. But whatever it is that works for you, try to make it more fun, whether it's music, cup of tea, whatever it may be.
Perfect. And the holidays can be especially difficult for students experiencing grief, such as the loss of a family member. This hardship can be magnified by expectations of happiness and family gatherings. What are some support strategies or coping skills that you recommend for students to navigate this specific kind of grief and pain during the break?
Yeah, that's a tough question. And I think it does depend a little bit on each kid and exactly what happens to be going on. So, my first piece of advice is to definitely communicate. So, you may not want to communicate exactly how you're feeling to everybody, but the counselors, we're always here to help. We're always happy to help lead you to different resources, specifically if it may be about grief. There's lots of grief support groups out there that we can help link you with, if that is something that you may need. In terms of just navigating that, if you are kind of in the midst of that, trying to make some new traditions. So maybe instead of doing something that you always did with grandpa, maybe you are going to create a game night with your parents that you do on Thanksgiving, or you're always going to watch whatever football game, whatever it may be. Try to create new traditions in face of the loss of the old ones.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ms. Brown.
Thank you.
All right. Who do we have here?
Hi, I'm Miss Calvert. I'm one of the counselors at Chatfield. I have last names SAN through Z.
Okay, Ms. Calvert, just a few questions. If a student feels behind or overwhelmed in school during this time, especially with finals coming up, what effective study or organization habits would you suggest to help reduce that anxiety?
Yeah, I think the best thing is sometimes when things feel like there's all sorts of stuff up here, bringing it back down to reality of like, okay, I need to make a list. And if that means you make a list of all your assignments that you have, and then you start like prioritizing which ones do I need to start with and just get the ball rolling. Sometimes if you have a long break and you're stressed, you can be like, okay, Monday I'm focusing only on English, just English. Tuesday I'm only going to focus on science. So then you're not feeling like you have to do everything all day, every
Hmm.
day.
Yeah.
So that helps. And like I said, like planning out each day that
Hmm.
you plan. Also, I think environment is really great.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big proponent of going somewhere to study instead of staying in your bedroom because there's a lot of distractions, or in your house there's a lot of distractions. Like getting somewhere where you can like grab a coffee, get some like music in privacy at a library or a Starbucks or like any of those spaces. I always think helps you like
Yeah.
focus and get you a lot of like a lot of work done in like a shorter amount of time versus like maybe stopping and
Hmm.
starting if you are at home
No, I totally agree.
with distractions.
Next question. For
Hmm.
students who lack traditional family support or are struggling with isolation and the feeling that they are missing out on the perfect holiday, how
Hmm.
can they shift their mindset to create their own meaningful traditions?
One thing I want kids to remember is that nobody has necessarily the perfect holiday,
Hmm.
even if it seems that way on social media or, what you hear. Every family has complicated situations. And so I would say one thing is don't consume a ton of social media because then again, people are posting. They only like to post like the nice, perfect parts of their
Hmm.
holiday. And so that makes you think everybody else is having this perfect holiday when they might not be. Um, I'm very guilty of that. And I would say, like, if you're struggling with like being isolated in your house, I'm a big proponent of like family isn't just blood. You have chosen family and you have biological family. So leaning on your support systems outside of your family, whether it be friends or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it may be, to get you out of the house and get you, around the rest of your support system. If you don't have that at home, making plans of things that you look forward to during breaks. So making, even if it's just like one thing, you're like, okay, I can
Hmm.
just get to Friday and I know I'm going to go out with my friends and do XYZ, whatever it may be. um yeah, that's what I would
All right.
suggest, reaching out to your support system.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Remember, Chargers, you matter.
Please do not feel you have to go through this alone.
And don't be afraid to reach out.
And remember, enjoy your break and take care of yourself. Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving!
Thanksgiving!